Today, I am attempting a huge freezer stock up before a winter storm comes through. But before that, I sent my husband to Costco for some necessary items, which became a whole adventure in itself.
What am I trying to find?
I'll be making some of my family's favorite snacks like date balls and muffins, and easy breakfast items like Dutch pancakes and waffles. This marathon of baking will be well worth it if I end up with a freezer and fridge full of healthy snacks and breakfast items. I'm getting tired. Join me to find out if I will be able to complete my mission, with lots of interruptions and maybe a few mess-ups along the way. Alright, today we are going to be doing a lot of baking. I need to stock my freezer and my fridge with a lot of good snacks and breakfast items, and so the goal is to get as much of it done today as I can. We traveled for Christmas, and then we were sick for a week, and then now we're getting ready to head back into the start of another homeschool year. And so to be able to be set up well for success, I have a lot that we need to get back in the fridge and the pantry. And we have a huge winter storm coming, so I sent my husband out to get lots of groceries, and then I would love to just be really well stocked up so we can enjoy the cold weather together.
So I'm headed to Costco. I feel like it's gonna be busy. I mean, Costco is always busy, but especially the day before. Storm's gonna be rolling in. Yeah, you can see the parking lot, it's packed. Yeah, big long line. Gas pumps, crazy. Slammed out here. Wait, why am I here? So the strategy here to find a spot is going around the outside edge. Let's go around this way and see what I find. Perfect. Here we go. This is our spot. Boom. Gotta turn in here. Made it in. Well, not made it in. Found a spot. Step one of the journey complete. So we're not trying to do a whole grocery haul. We're just trying to get a few basics before the storm rolls in. So I'm just gonna be snagging things like diapers, wipes, yogurt. Those are some essentials for us. We go through tons of yogurt. We're doing a Walmart grocery pickup right after this. So we just had a few things we needed to get from Costco. So trying to get in before the storm rolls in.
My oldest son has outgrown his winter coat, and I asked Blake to look for some winter gear.
I'm trying to find some... What am I trying to find? See, I don't even know what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find some snow gear for one of our sons. Snow pants, snow jacket. My wife said they might have them here. But I'm also bad at finding things, so... I don't know. There's a lot of clothes options. So somewhere over here in the kids section, I just didn't see it. Jacket. All right, so I didn't find pants, but found a jacket, so.
I also really wanted Blake to get a rotisserie chicken so I could make soup in the next couple of days. But as you may know, these are highly prized chickens.
That's a line just to get a rotisserie chicken. I guess I'll wait in it.
Oh gosh, no. Thank you for telling me that. I didn't realize that was the light. Thank you.
Yeah, this is for rotisserie chicken. You can go in front of me. Go ahead. Yeah. Get the chicken right out before you get up there. Still waiting for the chicken. I can see them cooking right there. He's getting ready to put them in the bag. I've been in this line like 30 minutes. This better be the best rotisserie chicken ever.
Look at all those chickens.
They're finally coming out. They're getting bagged. That's my chicken right there.
I'll smile when I'm
We made it to the front.
How many do you cook today?
About 600 or so. Got it. Have a good day. Got the precious rotisserie chicken. Needed 2 hands for that one. Get like 18 of these. Dang it, I forgot berries, so I have to walk all the way back over here.
This point in the journey, Blake only has a few items in his cart, and he's been there an hour. Next time, I think I will be the one going.
Now the journey may continue. Alright, now I just need to get flour, and I think that's the last thing. Hi. Thank you. Alright, so I made it out. Made it in under 3 hours. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't fast. Let's just say that. Alright, home I go. Not like an insanely big load or anything, but it still took me a long time, especially waiting for that rotisserie chicken. So I hope it's extra delicious. But we just needed a few essentials before the storm, and now I'm gonna head to Walmart to get our kind of weekly grocery order from there. I bring wipes and toilet paper.
We got the groceries unloaded, and now we're set up and ready for the next day. So, before we can start baking, we gotta do some cleanup. And by me doing cleanup, I actually mean my husband Blake. He is going to help me clean the kitchen, and then we'll get started.
Gotta do the dishes. Then we're gonna make stuff. Then we'll do more dishes.
If you have little kids, you know that the cleanup and dishes are endless. But we get that it's just a part of the cost of cooking and baking a lot at home. So now that we have what we need to bake and the kitchen's cleaned, let's get started. Today I'm making homemade gummies, Dutch pancakes, muffins, date balls, and
Protein waffles. So it's like 2 snacks, 2 breakfast things, and gummies. That would be nice if I can get it done. We'll see. So the first thing I'm gonna make is homemade gummies. It's kind of like our version of like immunity gummies or vitamin C gummies. Basically, instead of buying them, I like to make it. It's a little bit healthier. These have cranberry juice, tart cherry juice, and then pure gelatin. Sometimes I'll add in no,
We need it.
we need it. We've got the flu and sickness stuff happening, so we need a little bit of boost for vitamin C. This is grass-fed gelatin, so I'll use 3 cups of juice, 6 tablespoons of gelatin, and it's really easy to just get started and then work on other things while it is in process.
What are you making, Mommy?
I'm making gummies.
Gummies?
Yep.
Gummy!
So I like to do half and half. I'll do about 1.5 cups of cranberry juice and then I'll do 1.5 cups of the cherry juice. And I don't have the stovetop on yet. I learned this from other people on YouTube, but you want to let the gelatin bloom first, which just means it like soaks and absorbs into the juice while it's still cold. And so I just leave the stove off, and I'm gonna sprinkle the gelatin on and give it a couple minutes to fully absorb. So that's 3 cups of liquid, and I'm doing 6 tablespoons. Okay, pop up.
What? What is that?
It's just another
You need 'em
normal day in our kitchen. But if there's a tiny bit in there, you can dump it in the cranberry. Oh, I lost count. Was that 4? I think that was 4. 5.
They look so funny now.
6. It does look funny. Yes. I don't know if I'm gonna let you stay in here if you're coughing. Okay.
Look at that juice. I wasn't coughing. Look at the juice. I wasn't coughing.
Look at the juice. Okay, here's the goji berry powder. It's high in antioxidants, vitamin A, essential minerals. It says it just has it tastes like cherries and cranberries. I find in the gummies it doesn't dissolve because I'm not heating it for a long time. So sometimes it does make it a little bit grainy, but I think we do need the extra added benefits of it.
No.
So I'm not going to do as much as I've done other times. I'll probably just do 1 tablespoon.
Do 300.
This is what it looks like when it's bloomed. Where it's
Ballooned.
kind of like jiggly
Like Jello.
and it's not like melted. And then what's going to happen is once I put the heat on, it will melt down and it'll get really thin. You can even hear Eden in her bed. I find it mixes better in when it's like with the less liquid.
That'll mix a little bit.
Okay, just a second.
And then me.
So I'll kind of break up the clumps as
Can I
it
mix?
starts to heat up. But
No,
I'm putting it on pretty low, just like 2, because you don't want to boil or burn the gelatin. You just want to melt it. Use it really gentle so it doesn't splash a lot.
Next me. Uh-oh.
Okay, I need all my helpers off the counter, and you can help me carry things from the pantry that we need for our other recipes. Okay? Take out of hands, please.
I can carry 10,000. I can carry 100.
Take those.
gross.
This is for pumpkin muffins. Oh. Can I open them up and eat pumpkin?
That one?
Yeah, you just gotta be careful with your fingers on the sharp pan.
Okay.
I like to keep a bunch of pantry staples on hand so that when I'm ready to bake a lot of different recipes, I have what I need. Some of the main ingredients we will be using today are flour, baking powder, oats, pumpkin puree, maple syrup, honey, eggs, and salt. As the gelatin melts in the pan, I try to stir it every couple of minutes. I turn the oven on to 350 degrees.
Flour.
I'm gonna make the Dutch pancakes next. So these are gonna keep melting down, and then we're gonna put them into a glass pan. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna get the blender.
I'll get you done, baby.
Guys, yes, please. Please here. You both these in 4 days, Sarah. Wait. Wait.
So I'm gonna attempt a double batch of Dutch pancakes, which means I'm gonna do 4 of these pans. My kids will probably eat like a whole pan
Today.
for today, and then another pan could be eaten in one breakfast. So my goal is to have 4 bags so that we can have a couple days in advance set up, which is perfect. And there's lots of protein in them because one recipe is gonna take 10 eggs. So we're gonna need 20 eggs in the blender. But I think if I remember last time, I can't blend it all at the same time. It gets too full. So I'm gonna blend up one batch, and then I'll blend up the second batch.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go with eggs.
So I got started on the Dutch pancakes, but after a minute, I needed to check the gummies and get them off the heat.
Okay, I gotta wash my hands. Check on the gummies. So you can tell the gummies have melted down quite a bit, like the gelatin is starting to get thin. Sometimes this goji powder has a little bit of clumps in it, and I might just shake it out if it doesn't get all the way small. So you basically just want to melt the gelatin and have it be warm. I usually watch for a little bit of steam to come off of it, so it's not quite hot enough yet. But once it gets to that point, then I will transfer it to a glass dish. It's just starting.
You want a glass?
Which one did I use last time?
The big
Was
one.
this one?
No, the other one.
I haven't been that big one.
I think I used this one.
That's just the lid for it too.
No, this one doesn't have a lid. But
That's
they
the
didn't
one.
stick in the glass pan like the way that
Yeah, they stick.
I had been using these, and for the first, 10 times they didn't stick. And then they started sticking and became impossible to get out.
They're hard to clean too.
And they're hard to clean. Thank you, Blake. I usually have him do it. So I'm just gonna do them in the pan and cut them and shape this one. It's also way easier because getting them into the little spots was tricky. So there's some steam coming off of it.
Steaming. See that steam?
It's just hot.
Who's Tony? Who's Tony? My boy.
Put syrup, buddy.
All right,
Honey.
this is hot.
Jello.
Jello.
Not just yet.
Not yet, but it will. Okay, now I have to clear space.
But jiggly. Like jello. Jiggly like jello.
All right. All right. Back to the Dutch pancakes.
Wait! Wait there!
10 eggs and 2 cups of milk going in here. We'll use some more in a minute. I like to sweeten it just with maple syrup. This is a more natural sweetener, and I don't really measure. I just kind of eyeball it. I don't make it super sweet. And I'm gonna put in flour and baking powder and vanilla. Maybe 2 or 3 teaspoons. Again, I don't measure.
Smells good.
All right, about 1.5 cups of flour. And I'm gonna do a tablespoon of baking powder. And then I'm just gonna blend it up on medium for a couple minutes. You want the eggs to get really well blended. Alright, I'm going to spray my pans and pour in all of the batter. And then this batch, I'm just going to make them all raspberry. I think my kids like them raspberry the most.
Confirmed.
Alright, and then I just like to put a couple raspberries in each one.
And blueberries.
I think the next batch will be blueberries, but today's just going to be this one's raspberry. So I teach you how to make this one in a snap guide that we use this for breakfast, or you could use it for a snack, but the snack guide has all of the meal prep and all of the grocery lists that you need to be able to be planned out for a whole month of homemade snacks. So I would do something like this in the snack guide, making 4 dozen if you wanted to be all prepped. Alright, well the oven's not quite ready, but while these bake, I'll start, I'm gonna blend up the other batch, and then while those are baking through, we'll make the day balls. 10 more eggs.
If I could share one of my #1 tips to save time in the kitchen, it would be to bake once, eat twice. I try to always make a double, or in this case, a quadruple batch, because I know that later on I will be so glad to have the extra food in my freezer.
Alright, so while the Dutch pancakes are baking, I have one batch that'll take about 15 minutes, and then we'll make the second batch 15 minutes. I'm going to work on making some protein balls. I like these that are sweetened with dates and they have peanut butter in them. They're a little bit different than your average like protein ball usually people make just with like oats and peanut butter and chocolate chips. But these date balls are really delicious. It's kind of our favorite way to eat them.
Mommy.
You
No.
wanna play?
The first step to make these date balls is to cut open the dates and take out the pits. If they are more hard and dry, I like to soak them in warm water for a few minutes and then drain it off before using them. But the ones that Blake found at Costco were perfectly soft, so that step was not necessary.
Okay, I'm gonna use my food processor to blend these up. And I want to know how many cups I'm using, probably about 2, but that'll help me know doubling or tripling this batch.
You can fit a lot in there.
I'll say it's about 2 cups of dates. I gotta look at my recipe.
Put in
Really
one
quick.
A banana. A banana. We have a banana. A banana.
Okay, so I'm doing a double batch. I'm going to need
Banana.
12 tablespoons of creamy peanut butter. So I'll do 12 tablespoons, but I'm not gonna measure. That's kind of how I do it. Who wants to have peanut butter on the inside of their tablespoon? Not me. 1 spoonful, close enough.
Another nice variation you can make with this recipe is to do half peanut butter and half almond butter. I personally get a little tired of just the peanut butter flavor, so I enjoy changing it up from time to time.
All right, and then also in the blender, I'll put 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And if it ends up being too sticky, I will also put a little bit of warm water. Right now, oops. If I have to reset the blender, that's gonna be a bummer because this got pushed out of the way. Dang it. I thought it was locked into place to begin with. And if it wasn't locked into place, then the middle part comes up. I might need your help.
That's all it is. There we go.
Yeah, it was because I turned the middle of it. Got it. Alright, so it's always better to have it locked into place first. But I think I was trying to say I'll add some water if I need to, if it's too sticky. But for right now, let's see how it goes.
I usually blend it up a little and then stir or add water as needed.
Alright, I am going to add a little bit of water.
This process can be sticky and take some time, but it makes me super
We're trying to
thankful I
get
have
all of
this
the
food
dates chopped.
processor.
I can tell this is a good texture at the bottom, but there's still quite a bit up here that is in big chunks. So The peanut butter just is super sticky. So add a little more water and try again. All right, that looks right. And sometimes you find like a little bit bigger chunks of dates, but that's okay. Just take them out. So next into this bowl, I'm going to put oats. I'm just gonna use quick oats because that's easy. You could also use oat flour, which is oats that are already blended up really fine. I do like when they're more fine, but today I just have quick oats, so I'm going to use quick oats and flax. And for this double batch, it's probably gonna be like 3/4 cup of each. That's 1/4. Okay, and then also we'll mix in some salt. Do you know where the salt is?
Yeah, it's up there.
I think half a teaspoon or so. Alright, and then I just like to mix this by hand because it gets very thick. If you had a really powerful food processor and you wanted to put the oats and the flax in, you totally could. But I have found over the years making these that mixing them by hand for this step is a little bit better. It's basically like a really sticky cookie dough, and then you're just working in the oats and the flax. And if it feels too dry, which to me right now it feels a little bit dry, I'm gonna add just a little bit of water because those oats are going to absorb quite a bit of moisture. And if they're too dry and crumbly, then I don't enjoy the texture as much. So a little water always helps. And if it got too sticky, you can always put more flax or oats. But that's the timer for our first batch of pancake. They get nice and fluffy, but they will shrink down once you pull them out. All right, I'm gonna let those cool just for a minute before I get them switched over to do the next. All right, once these are all the way mixed, I roll them into balls. I'm gonna put them in everywhere. And you can choose bigger or smaller depending on how much you want. Like my kids, they won't eat a really big one, so I'll probably make some of them small, but then if you want a bigger sized one, you can.
I love to make these date balls for my kids because it's an easy way to boost the nutrients in my kids' diets. Oats are a whole grain with lots of fiber, and flax seeds have omega-3s and protein. My kids like these because they're sweet from the dates, and I love having a healthy snack I can offer them. Once they're rolled out, they can be stored in the freezer or in the fridge. Once the date balls were finished, I removed the first batch of Dutch pancakes and began the same process for the second batch.
Since they've been sitting here for a while, I'm just gonna blend it up a little bit more. This batch, I'm going to make blueberry.
I love how versatile this Dutch pancake recipe is. You can put so many different things in them to change the flavor. My kids love raspberries and blueberries, and they are easy to use from the freezer. We have made apple before, but you need to slice and cook the apples first, so it takes longer. You could also add in other fruit like peaches or make them sweet with chocolate chips. As you may have guessed, I definitely took on a lot with this baking day, and at this point I was feeling really tired. But I wasn't ready to give up yet. Stay tuned for part 2, where I make delicious homemade waffles, hit a few snags, make some muffins, and then settle in to enjoy the snow. Oh, and of course, I did not let Blake's long-waited for rotisserie chicken go to waste, so make sure you don't miss the next video to see what I cooked up to round out this crazy baking marathon.